All right, let's see. Just testing some stuff here, chat. Test, test, test. Perfect. All right, so that is good. So YouTube is all set to go. Now on to TikTok land. All right, so YouTube is set. Now we're going to get TikTok ups, and then we'll go from there. Try not to get too much in the way for you guys over on YouTube. Make sure everything is good to go. Let's see. So YouTube, you guys are still good. You guys are chilling over there. Bard, what is going on? You're getting a sneak peek. I'm getting the TikTok side of the house all ready to go, and we'll be set to get this thing started. So super stoked. Hopefully it all goes well. There's a lot of moving components. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. And then I'm going to. So how's it going, Bard? Hopefully you're doing good, my friend. My co-pilot is next to me, Faye. She's ready to go, ready to rock. Ugh. All right, so that should be good. That should be good. Who's Faye? That is my cat. She's my co-pilot. The all-powerful Faye. All right. So let's see. All right, so there's no way to do that. All right, let's get after it. Should be ready. All right. So hopefully you guys can hear me over on YouTube, and hopefully you guys can hear me over on TikTok here. So we should be. Betty, what is up? Hopefully my audio is all set to go. I'm having to do the stream a little bit different. I know that there's the ring on here, so that's going to be more if someone wants to take a look under the microscope. We'll kind of turn that off and zoom it in. So we're going to get right into it. So first, welcome everybody to the first ever online showcase for Galaxia Gaming. So this is to give folks a chance who typically doesn't have a chance to visit me in person. This is kind of a monthly thing that I'm going to try to include you guys, because at the end of the day, I appreciate you guys supporting me, whether you are from my area or not. So we're going to basically, how we're going to do is we're just going to kind of show off the showcase, kind of showing off what Galaxy Gaming has, and everything is pretty much ready to go. So if you guys have any questions or want to take a look at anything, on TikTok there is a linked video on how to navigate the showcase. Kind of leave it at that. And everything else has been pretty much advertised throughout the week. So if you guys want to look at any other cards closer, we do have a microscope, which is really nice. I've used this for card cleaning in the past, so I'll kind of turn off the light. We'll kind of do some zoom ins there, which is always really nice. And if you guys are liking what you see, you also can kind of see there should be this code right there. This is going to be lasting throughout the entire stream. So we are going to get right into it. So in addition to cards, there's also going to be merch in the showcase, which has its own benefits as well. So if you want to pick that up to support me, those are all designed by me as well. So we are just going to get right into it. The other thing that we have is I picked up a collection today, so if there's a lull or any questions or anything like that, I'm basically going to be reviewing that in. Where's my kitten's face? Well, we have to do it a little bit differently today. So you get to see the anonymous mystery Galaxia gaming, and I have a little bit better microphone, so maybe I sound a little bit more clear, a little bit more presentable. So, all right, so here we go, guys. So first, the showcase. So I have this all alphabetized, which is kind of nice. And we're going to try the ring light, and if it's a little too much, then we'll try to edit it out a little bit, because it might be a little bit dark if I turn it off. Yeah, you literally can't see it. So we'll kind of do it at an angle here. Yes, so we're going to be doing these in alphabetical order, and just kind of go right through. So I love the primes. If you guys are prime enjoyers, always a big fan of the prime. So one of the cool things that we kind of picked up not too long ago was a lot of vintage stuff. So picked up a lot of Fossil, Team Rocket, a really big fan of kind of the vintage and mid-era personally. And then we have a probably one of the most off-center Aerodactyls you could possibly find. So that left side is, that is a chunky left side. But that right side, look at that, razor thin. So we got that. We got some Alakazam action. We got two of them bad boys. And then for the Umbreon completionists, the Alakazam EX, got to make sure you get that Umbreon. And then the other thing that I've been seeing is the 151 starting to kind of get a little bit popular again, which is really nice. So we got the Delta Species Reverse Hollows. I will in a second. Right now I'm just kind of going through the alphabet, going through alphabetically, and we'll just kind of go from there. So chat, this one legitimately is probably my favorite Ancient Mew that I have from this recent pickup. You can kind of see that nice fat belly swirl right there. Look at that, chat. I'll try to help you guys out over on the other channels as well. See if I can get it right where it needs to be. There we go. So nice little belly swirl there. So I'll try to be aware of the other chats as well. These Arceus level X's are nice too. So welcome in, guys. Welcome in. This is the first ever online showcase for Galaxia Gaming. Try to support my folks who can't see me in person. So then I'll show the other camera as well. Gotta help you guys out. So we'll go through this as well. So hopefully you guys are doing good. Yeah, the Armored Mewtwo was a promo, and it looks absolutely sick. It's probably one of my favorite Mewtwo arts of all time, because it literally has that like mech feel, which is super sick. And the Absol Prime. But yeah, the where is it? Yeah, the Armored Mewtwo. That one's nice. And also the one where he's in the bubble chamber as well is super nice too. All right, so on to the bees. Maybe there we go. That will probably do both. There we go. I really like this. For those of you who like to collect the old school EXs, I always like this one, especially like with the rings in the back. Super nice. The bee drill. So if you guys sucker for Matt, I know you, Chud. So for those of you who know, this is my favorite Pokemon card of all time, the Birthday Pikachu. Hands down, #1 favorite, because it's the only card ever printed that is encouraged for you to write your name on the top as well as your birth date. So one of the very few cards that actually encourages you to write on it. Next we got some the Blastoise, big man Blastoise. Husky, welcome in, my friend. And if you guys have any questions, you should write your name on each one, like sign it, Premiere. That'd be kind of. Oh, on the yeah, sign the birthday Pikachu's. Yeah, have it submit to PSA and get an auto grade. So this one's super nice. I'm a big fan of the e-readers, and I really like this Blastoise. Just looks like he's about to absolutely destroy. Gotta love that Blastoise. Super nice. And then the other, it's not the Bonsley butthole. No, that thing has been eluding me for so long. I'm actively trying to look for it. Actively trying to look for it, but it is very elusive. A super clean Blaziken EX. So again, I tried collecting these EXs until I was looking at the collection list, and I quickly found out that it is very difficult to try to complete all the EXs. So that kind of came out of my failed attempt at collecting. And we got 3 of this card. All right, chat, hear me out. This card is super nice and super inexpensive, I feel like. It's super cool. It's got a lot going on. The Teddy Ursas, the Munchlax, and then the Ursaluna is just devouring that big old pile of honey. Super nice card. Yes, we're right now I'm going through all of the cards in alphabetical order. So we are just getting started. So yeah, definitely. Once I kind of go through A through Z, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just kind of take open requests because the showcase is available for those of you who want access to the showcase. So that is all. So in TikTok, it's in my pinned video on how to access the showcase. And so everything that you're seeing live is available on the showcase. So once I kind of go through all the cards, if people want to see a closer look at anything in the showcase, I kind of pop it up, and then you can kind of pick it up whenever you are ready. You got the metal, the chunky metal. And we got the Charizard lane here. So you guys are about to see a lot of Charizards. So we got the reverse from Evolution. The Charizard EX. This one keeps kind of like rising and falling. It's really interesting to say the least. But that's what it keeps doing. So Charizard EX. Boom. Another Charizard EX. Boom. Another Charizard EX. Boom. Waste, what's going on? Oh, before I show, because Chud brought up a good point. You're about to see probably one of the cooler mech / Pokemon crossovers. Is the armored Mewtwo. Look at that, chat. Holy! The armored Mewtwo, decked out in mech armor. And we thought you'd like the Genesect, but boy howdy, that armored Mewtwo. Wowzer, Bowser. But yes, I am scalping Charizards. That is my professional hobby. That's all I know how to do. This one's always sick. The battle between the Charizard and the Venusaur. And Charizard always has beef with everyone. The Venusaur, the Mewtwo has got beef. And where's the there's the Diglett right there. If you guys are master setting Digletts, technically that is one. So up there for those of you who are on the other app. And we got Tangrowth down there. So yeah, some nice bad boys. So we got some Charmanders, some Charmeleons. So if you guys are new to this, so watch this, chat. For those of you who are uninitiated about this, the 151 Charizard EX. So this is how this art set looks. So it's supposed to kind of go like up. Nope, that's a There we go. So it's this way. There we go. So that's how the evolution line looks in the binder. So Charmander is on the bottom in the canyon, and then Charmeleon's halfway up, and then Charizard evolves and flies away out of the canyon. Kind of morbid, but hey. So that's what it's supposed to look like, chat. If you've never seen the full line, the full art line, that's what it's supposed to look like. So pretty dope. Me personally, I am a big fan of how the new artwork really kind of brings new life into these cards. So it's pretty cool to see how they do it. Charmeleons, the nice little Clefable action from Expedition. It's always nice. Cloyster with I think there's a swirl in there, maybe not. And then the Staff promo Combustion. Random card that I don't even know where I got it from, but super random. Yes, that Clefable is super nice. So now we get to the darks. We got a lot of dark Pokemon in here. To let me get a hold of Cloyster. Oh god. Chud's active tonight. Cloyster is not safe. Dark Blastoise with a fat little swirl in the tootsies. Shout out Blastoise. Then we got the non-hollow. So we got the hollow and the non-hollow. That's what it kind of looks like. Wah wah wee wah. Got some Dark Charizard action non-hollow. Wow. And then this one is crazy. The reverse hollow from Legendary Collection. The Dark Dragonite. Wah wah wee wah Bonanucci. Look at that. Probably one of my favorite sets of all time is Team Rocket for sure. When Destined Rivals came out, I was kind of, me personally, I was kind of bummed. I really wish they kind of went back to this kind of darker theme. But another Legendary Collection Dark Persian there. Dark Typhlosion, Deoxys, and then probably one of the bigger non-graded cards that I have for singles in the showcase is the Dialga EX from Phantom Forces. Is pretty nuts. All decked out silver, near mint. Ooh la la, chat. Ooh la la. Got the Ditto. Got the nice Dragonite. I think there's a swirl somewhere in there. Yeah, right there. Look at that. Then we got the... one of these is actually claimed. We got to put that off to the side. Got some nice Dragonites there. You will see this in the shop as Espeon Reverse Hollow. There should be... Well, I'm actually about to hit the E's here soon, so it should be the Reverse Hollow. The Reverse Hollow is with the set name. And the Dusclops EX. So on to the E's. Yeah, so it should be... Let's see. It's going to bug me. Yeah, so the Espeon... So it's a Reverse Hollow with these sets when it has the set name. It's technically a Reverse Hollow. Yeah, it was just a stock image. That's why I was like that. So typically it's just a stock image just to kind of represent, but... Yes, we can, Bardian. You're the first one. So once I get there, once I go through this stack, we can definitely take a closer look in the microscope. So we can kind of see why on earth. I think I listed it at Light Play, I'm pretty sure. But yes, anything that you guys see. Right now I'm just kind of going through alphabetically. These ones are actually out of the shop because these are a pair. But if anyone wants these or wants to take a closer look, we can definitely look at that. But can't really mark a pair on the showcase, so it's a little bit difficult. Nice little first Ed Erica's Dragonair. Yes, for sure. Yeah, I really the Espeon, super nice. Ethans and the Executor. All right, so we have our first request to go under the microscope. For first, we got the Espeon, and then we have the Electabuzz EX. So let us take a look. So we're gonna go dark here. So this one, first off, this Espeon was listed at moderately played. So let's first kind of take it out of the sleeve, see what we can see outside of that so I can also remember why I assessed it at moderately played. Because for those of you who don't know, I am a stickler when it comes to condition. So it's one of the things that we can kind of see some slight scratching across the arm there with the, and I think I have a little tool here to kind of help point out some of these issues. Just bear with me 1 second. So right about here, if I can focus, so right about where the leg is, and then on the back, we have some scratching right here. You can kind of see that going across, and a little bit of a ding there. You can kind of see if I kind of shimmer. So pretty much any time that I see any little like mild impact like that, I always pretty much just mark it at moderately play. But the rest of the card is absolutely gorgeous. So a little bit of whitening on the corner there. But then on the front, really that impact that I just showed on the back is hardly noticeable. So like where it would be is technically right here, right where the tip of my tool is. So right about there. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to show it the best I can. Because typically when I look at this under the microscope, it's better to look at kind of on a flat surface. But with something like bumps, it's a little bit easier to kind of show it in like 3 dimensions here. That's why I'm not putting it right there. And you can kind of see some mild scratches in more of the darker area too in this light. So right there, like a little bit of that bump, and then kind of transferring over to the back. This is actually a really good shot of it right here. So like, oh, so right about, if I stop hitting my camera, so right about here, and then the whitening is, and let me first get I have a, let's see, I gotta get a little microfiber cloth so I can put it on the microscope pad here. And we're going dark. So on the back, and then we're going to kind of zoom in here. Bear with me. Experiencing some mild turbulence. We can kind of, this thing just has a mind of its own. There we go. Okay, so some of the whitening is going to be more on, I would say from a grading perspective, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to do a little bit, I'm going to find a darker one, a darker background so you can actually see the whitening. But I would say normally when I assess a card at its condition, it's typically what I think it would get if you were to submit it to PSA specifically. So if I rate something as like moderately played, my opinion is that it would most likely get a 5 if it was moderately played condition. So that's kind of the front, really the only thing. And then for the sake of the whitening, so it's really that top right. So you kind of see that top right corner kind of going along the sides there. And then a little bit on that bottom right corner. And as we kind of scan across, see a little bit of whitening on that left edge. But aside from that, just kind of that scratch and like that right where my thumb is, that little indent is what kind of makes it to moderately played. So next up is, and just remember, you do get 10% off during the stream. So that is something to consider as well. So if you do use that code, you will get that 10% off. Am I firm on price? I would say like if you want to talk more towards the end of stream, possibly. But it is pretty competitive compared to market price, especially for an evolution. And a lot of that mid-era stuff is pretty popular at the moment. So I priced it a little bit under market to begin with, and then on top of the 10%. So So yeah. So there's the so this one I believe was assessed as light play. So that's super nice. And then I think really the back have a little bit of whitening here on that right side. And then it's more of like the whitening on this left side that's really kind of giving that LP. And then that's a little bit of a scratch there. But yes, that was again, that was my attempt at trying to complete the EXs. Did not go well. So then the Fs now. A little bit of the Firo action. Sounds good, Betty. And again, another attempt at that one. I think is assessed at heavy play. Oh, nice, super sick. And the fortress. And now on to the G's. So the G. I would say for you, yes, it definitely would be. It definitely would be. And then for those of you who are just trying to curious about what this showcase looks like, I like to advertise it online just to kind of share my collection. And if you go to my TikTok pin video on how to do that, that is available for you to look at. So again, this is all my business collection is the best way I can say it. Well, I appreciate that, Palette. And I still have to advertise that the show exists. so this, I love this Galarian Moltres. So now we're on to the G's. Oh. There we go. The Gardevoir. Yes, we can. Ooh, we're getting to the Gengars. And I can't remember who wanted to take a closer look at this, but that was so we'll look at that. So we have, let me make sure that I set these aside here. So we want to take a look at that. We wanted to take a look at the Radiant collection. Love me some Giovanni. The Tina. These Crown Zeniths are really nice too. I've been seeing a lot more people getting more and more interested on picking these up. Always like these. The God cards. Yes. A little nice little Glaceon there. And then more of the V-Stars. Shout out to Crown Zenith, man. I think that was probably my personal favorite set of Sword and Shield was Crown Zenith for sure. But love the Glaceons. Probably the worst holo in the e-reader, in my opinion. It's awful. It's like 90% of it is like covered. So that is there's a flat number, Bardian. There's a flat number. The Greninjas. Someone, I forgot who called this, but I can never like unhear it. Is someone called this the mustard, the mustard or the hot dog Greninja because like the mustard and ketchup looking vibes in the background. I always think of this as the hot dog Greninja. Yes, I would, Bardian. That would be my recommendation. Okay, so the two we're gonna take a closer look at, and before we do, I'm going to let's see. I need. There we go. Okay, it's like I knew I had it somewhere. These little pads. All right. So the the Gardevoir was first. So this one was assessed as light play. And shout out to the folks who are liking the live, by the way. Appreciate you. So I think the Gardevoir on this one, I believe, I'm just going to take a look. Yeah, so most of it was kind of the whitening on the back and just kind of just some generic scratching on the front. So you can kind of see, and where'd my tool go? Here we go. So here, why is this assessed as light play? So we have some scratches kind of going down the middle here and kind of like small clustering here. And then just kind of some mild scratching more towards the silver area. And then we have some mild kind of foil bending here because it's kind of linear across. And then on the back, it's more of just kind of the generic whitening on that top left and kind of inching its way down that left side. But aside from that, it's pretty close into that area. Yeah, those Radiant collections, those are, I think because of like the type of foil that was used on the front, it always seems like it's rough to kind of keep pristine. Because every time I've seen those, like that's always been the problem is like that folding of the foil on the top. So the big boy, the Gengar, first ed. So I believe where this was assessed as light play, so we have is primarily just like mild scratching in the hollow section specifically. So you kind of have some here on that top left, have some right about there, if it will focus, because it's kind of hard. And then we have some, that's probably the more notable one here. But that top right corner is pretty good. And then just some mild silvering on the edge as to be expected with Fossil and Jungle. But then really where I believe I put the indicator of light play was primarily the whitening on the back, more so on the right side. So it's kind of tough to kind of see, but we have a little bit of whitening here. Try to make sure that it doesn't focus on the background. So you kind of see some of that whitening on that edge there. And we kind of look at that bottom, a little bit of whitening on that bottom left corner, and a little bit of whitening on that top left. But, and then probably a little bit of centering issues on the front side. The bottom is definitely thicker than the top, but the hollow was surprisingly good, all things considered. Most of that light play conditioning is more on the back because of the whitening than anything. But yeah, I'd say, again, kind of bringing back up, what I think some of this stuff would grade. Like typically for something like this, like if I assess it at light play, my assumption is that it'd probably be a what's it called? A 6. That's why I kind of mark it like that. And then I'm going to just give me 1 second, chat. I'm taking the other guys for a ride here. Bear with me 1 second. So I think this will be a lot easier if I do it this way. Let's see if that. Oh my god. Shout out to anyone that can make a better mobile arm for a desk mount, because sometimes like when you tighten it, it's like, oh, like I'm now going to become the most loose thing ever produced by mankind. So shout out to you guys. There we go. That's way better. Okay. So now to the H's. Chat, we still got a lot of cards to look through. There we go. That's way better. There we go. So my probably one of my favorite top 6, Haunter. And again, this one was another one. This one is currently not active on the store, or not the store, the showcase, because it's so hard. I don't know if you guys have the curse, but it's so hard to get the pieces. But if you guys have never seen them together, that's what the legend cards look like. So that's why I personally really, really, really like the Legends cards. For this exact reason. They look so nice in a binder. They look absolutely gorgeous. And one of the things, if we have time, I found this in a collection that I picked up today, and it was absolutely fried. Absolutely fried. Houndor, I absolutely love this Houndor, kind of lurking in the grass. Super, super nice. So it should be for the entire thing, Bardian. I was testing it, and it should be for the entire process. Oh, that's super sick. My absolute favorite is the Darkrai Cresselia. Oh, that is one thing. Before I go on to the eyes, I'm going to show you. One of the things that I picked up were these. So I picked up a personal collection today, like a genuine personal collection, and they had the classic jumbo cards. But these were probably some of the best jumbos that I could see. So first, the Darkrai Cresselia. So this one is probably my favorite legend card ever in the real combo. So that's sick. And then this one is the other one, the Palkia Dialga legend. So I thought these were super sick. And because this Darkrai for sure is probably my favorite Darkrai artwork of all time. Like, it is so sick. Absolutely. I definitely could. I genuinely haven't even looked these up yet. I was gonna save kind of showing off the collection I picked up if there was like a lull. But yeah, for sure. I'm just reading your comment, Bardian. It's only doing the first. Okay, let me just double check then, just in case. I'm still here, chat. I'm just gonna check something real quick. It should be good, but let me double check. I'm still here, chat. You guys entertain yourselves. I'm just making sure codes work. It's crazy the amount of stuff you have to prepare for, chat. It's nuts. Let's see. Across all selected. Let's try. Let's try this, chat. That. And then end. All right. So I think I fixed it. I think I fixed it. If I didn't, let me know. But so here are the eyes. Yes, we can look at the fortress. here in just a second. I think the code was bum, so we'll have to. Okay, so the fortress. Excellent choice, my friend. Excellent choice. The fortress. So this one was assessed as near mint. So let's take a look at this bad boy. Perfect. Thank you, Bardian. Alright, so let's take a look. So the hollow on this bad boy is super clean, if I remember correctly. Not a scratch on her. Until Faye has something to do with it. Oh, we just hit 1K likes. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you very much. And yeah. I mean, really, I think the only thing on the back, let me get my little handy-dandy pointer tool. Got a little bit of whitening here on the bottom right side. And then we have some there on the top right. Have a little bit on that bottom left. And then probably a little bit on that bottom left. But it's really just those little bits of whitening. But an absolutely clean fortress for sure. I was actually really... I can't even remember where I picked this up from, to be honest. But yeah, that hollow is very, very good. Probably even pushing near mint plus, but probably, I would say, from a grade perspective, if I were to guess, probably like a 7 or even an 8, to be honest. Probably like a soft 8, but almost like a guaranteed 7. But super, super nice there. Let's see. Where am I at? J. We only have one J. My favorite Pokemon. All alone. Jolteon. From Legendary Collection. My absolute favorite. Now we go to the Ks. Got the nice little Kabutops from Sky Ridge. First set Kabutops. Koraidon. The Kyurem EX. Always love these older EXs. I think the reason why I like them so much is all this right here. Like all that yellow gold, like the stroke layer, makes these older EXs just pop really well. I really like them a lot. Now on to the L's. And when we get to the M's, chat, boy oh boy. All right. So let's make sure this finally works. And let's see if we got it. Perfect. All right. So this bad boy is finding itself a new home. Yeah, very, very, very clean copy, for sure. Thank you, Premiere. I really do appreciate it. But yes, excellent choice, sir. Excellent choice. Perfect. Look at that. Yes, that sounds about right. It's crazy how much stuff has gone up, but I also like to spend a lot of time protecting this stuff during shipment too, especially with all the is one of the biggest things that I've been noticing, guys, and it's really kind of unfortunate, is that a lot of these packages have been kind of getting tampered with or whatever, and it's really annoying. So I've been trying to add a little bit more protection and a little bit more security to them, which is kind of the unfortunate thing I have to do is add that addition. But yes. All right, on to the L's. The boys are in chat tonight. I know. And you guys get to see I was telling Pallet. Oh yeah, it has been a long time. It's so funny because I remember people more from the cards that they find or the cards that they're interested in more so than the names. I don't know what that tells you, but it is what it is. but uh, but yeah, we're just kind of showing off some cards. Got the L's now. So many Leafeons. If you guys are a Leafeon fan, you guys are about to see a ton of them. Let's go to V. Yeah, we're getting there, Bardian. I promise. I'm just nerding out, showing off the collection. Leafeon V-Star. Lily's Determination. The Poppy Alicia. I think this thing has been in my possession for almost as long as my store has existed. And Lucario level X. Yeah, I always appreciate you guys hanging out and supporting. Hopefully you guys are seeing this as a fun thing or something that you were looking forward to. Again, the main reason that I wanted to kind of trial this was to try to help those who may not be able to attend shows near me. It's just a way to kind of showcase and just share the hobby with others that are outside of the States. So thank you so much for hanging out with me on the first online showcase kind of show off here. So I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out. Probably one of the most cooked M Charizards I've ever seen. That's why it's that. I can't remember where, but you can, like I don't even have to take it out of the top loader, and you can see this thing is absolutely cooked. But and then we got the two of these. So I don't know if you guys. So this is a really good example on what to look for when you're looking at megas for Mega Charizards. So there is two variants, and it's so funny because here are the two variants, right? We got the one on the left and the one on the right. Obviously, there's something up with the right one compared to the left, and it's literally all it is just the golden border around the one versus the other. Literally, that's pretty much it. and it's you can kind of see in the text box that this one's silver and this one's gold, but that's how it goes. So it's always just so funny. But these ones always you have to, like, if you're ever out looking for stuff, always be careful because it's so subtle, but the difference is so high that you definitely have to be careful. Ack, thanks for liking the live. Appreciate you. You definitely came back at the right time. That's for sure. We're going through all the M's here. And boy, do we got a lot. Some more EXs. Nice little Magikarp action. A nice little. I saw that you picked up an Executor from Legendary Collection. We definitely got some other random Legendary Collection stuff as well. The Magnemite, the most off-center Marnie ever printed by man. I definitely have had this one since the existence of this channel, for sure. Some nice lily pad Mews. A nice little Mew there. Nice little sleepy time. Nice little promo Mew there. Nice little promo there as well. And then the bubbles. The infamous bubble Mews. Which one? The promo, Betty? Ooh. It is cute. Look at all the Pokemon. Look at it. Nibbling on a berry, passed out. So cute. But yes, the Bubble Mew. And then the Mewtwo from Christopher Rush, one of the Wizards of the Coast Magic the Gathering illustrators. One of the few cards that was ever illustrated by one. I think it's the only one. by Chris Rush. But that's really cool. Mewtwo V-Star battle having it out with the Charizard from the other perspective. The Milotic EX. This card's absolutely beautiful. I really love this artwork. Then my favorite Mimikyu. I'm just nerding out at this point. So my favorite Mimikyu. The Mimikyu V. Super nice. The Misty Psyduck. Yeah, I love it. It's like, it's so nice. The coloring is super nice. The vibe is super cool. I love it. But this one, Misty Psyduck, this one's super sick. And we got some birds coming up. Some old hollow first ed birds. I wonder what he's watching. Chat, let me know what Mimikyu V is watching in the chat. And Muck. That's a good question. All right. Uh-oh. We have to for those N fans, the love interest is here. Look at him. Hubba hubba, chat. Hubba hubba. And look, he's so nice. And is so nice. The Scritches. And the Ends plan. Look at that. Yeah, that bad boy back there. I have some slabs to show off here in a second. I definitely have some slabs. Like this one, as an example. We're just talking about the Mew. This one's the Reverse Hollow from Legendary Collection. Absolutely love this artwork. The former of what you said, Dom. It's just how I have to talk. I think you get it. And then some more God cards. The Origin form. Again, I really think that these are, like, I don't know, kind of getting slept on. But absolutely love this one, too. And who wants to guess? Does anyone in chat guess what we're now going to be looking at the P's? And I wonder what 90% of the cards are going to be. Yes, exactly, Dom. You're getting it. So now we're in the P's. And we're gonna be seeing a lot of yellow rats here, chat. We're gonna be seeing a lot of rats. I would say DM me, Waste, and I will let you know how I handle that. It's super easy. Super, super easy. One of the Pokemon snaps that is not cost an arm and a leg. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like the actual like super high end Pokemon snap cards. Yes, it is 2 of them. The gold, the booty hole. See those? So if I don't know if Chud's still in here, but Chud, this is the alternative to the. You think the butthole Bonsley? What about the beehole Pikachu? That's the current nickname of this one. Because look, it's a little thunderbolt, and look where it's positioned. Chud, this is the card for you. Forget butthole Bonsley, embrace butthole Pikachu. That's what you need to think about. Because surely, yes. Some primal action. And then the Zen Psyduck. Look at that bad boy. Walking through down the steps. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me tonight, guys. This is kind of fun, just kind of going through and chilling with chat, hanging out. The Bonsley card is probably one of the most wild cards ever made by Pokemon. And then the Beware as the card above it is equally as crazy. You know what? I'm gonna put Eve over here. Shout out my mascot Eve. All right. Are my comments spamming or is my side freaking out? I don't think anything is going weird from what I can tell, Palette. I think I can see your comments fine, at least from my end. The Sleepy Raichu. Floating. Ooh, this one. Oh, this one was another big one of the singles that I had. Near Mint Raikou, E-Reader from Skyridge. That one was super nice. And this was the other pair. Those of you who have never seen the full pair shown out before. This one's absolutely beautiful. Both near mint too, surprisingly. The Rapidash. Ooh, we're getting to the Rayquazas, chat. Okay. Yeah, the pair is a little bit different because I don't have them in the display case, because it's just too hard to like talk about them as being a pair. But the Rayquaza EX. This is probably my favorite. It's probably my favorite Rayquaza, to be honest. Favorite Rayquaza artwork. Absolutely love that older, like CGI stuff. Rayquaza VMAX. This one's light play too. I guess on a side note, I guess like some side vendor talk. It's not the end of the world to have big chase cards at light play, especially if the back is really what's causing the light play. Because this one is that exactly. Because there's like mild whitening on the right side. And so often, if someone's trying to complete like the master set of Evolving Skies or something like that, and they just want a cheaper copy, the light play version is a really good alternative to kind of help bridge that gap. Because there's nothing wrong with kind of having a light play copy to at least complete the collection, and then kind of use that as filler if you come across one that's better, and you can kind of trade up, if you will. So that's why I didn't mind picking that one up, even if it was light play. Oh, this one, the XY promo? Yeah, it's a nice one. But this one, whew. Look at that. The Heartthrob, chat. The Heartthrob of N. Look at that. I think this one was a relatively new pickup. The Rainbow. Roaring Moon. And just a lot of the Rocket Trio. The Hitmonchan. The Moltres. And the Scyther. This was probably my favorite from Gym Heroes, is the Rocket Scyther. I just love the yellow in the background. It's really good contrast with the Scyther. And I'm a big Team Rocket fan, so. Now on to the S's. Look at that. A lot of thickness in the S's, chat. With 3 copies of Sabrina. Screamtail. Really nice Shaman EX. This one's actually really hard to do any research on, to be honest. I mean, it has to be expected for kind of like mid-era stuff that's not just destroyed. Because that one's near mint. Nice Skarmory there. Some more Prime. Slow King. Oh, we're hitting Snorlax Row, chat. Get ready for the big boy himself. We got the unlimited Snorlax Hollow. We got another one, probably near mint would be my guess. Yes. We have a near mint first edition Snorlax. And then we got the non-hollow first ed Snorlax. We got the Pokemon Center Snorlax. We got the reverse hollow Snorlax from Dragon Frontiers. Big boy Snorlax. We have the reverse hollow Legendary Collection Snorlax. Sorry I'm blinding you because this thing is crazy looking. And that was it. Now we're on to Squirtles. Squirtle in the kiddie pool, splashing the Pidgeys like a bad cat. And we got not one, not two, but 3 Squirtles on the beach. Which one, the Reverse Hollow or the Dragon Frontiers? This one's probably another one of my favorite cards from Sword and Shield. Has a lot going on. Really, really well done artwork. Super, super nice. Like, it's iconic. Misty with Starmie. Absolutely iconic. The vibes are immaculate. Swampert. And now we're getting into the Sylveons. Oh, yeah, it's super nice. So now we're going on to the Sylveon EXs, or the Sylveons just in general. So we got the one from Prismatic. Swampert was that guy. And this one was assessed as near mint. This one was also a very difficult card to get to that number. Sylveon GX. Sylveon V. Probably my favorite V out of the Evolving Skies. And then probably one of my favorite VMAXs from Evolving Skies, because there's so much going on. And we got 2 of them. And then the Sylveon VMAX. You are welcome, Dom. Now on to the T's. Some Team Rocket. The Nidoking action. Tinkatongue. What's going on, Potential? Yes, I do, Potential. Sorry, I just looked up at chat, so I apologize if you were waiting for me to respond for you. But and the sleepy Tyranitar. Got 2 of them bad boys. Now we're on to the U's. I wonder what's going to be in the U's, chat. I wonder. It's funny too, like it seems like the rainbow rares are kind of making a comeback finally. I don't know, like a lot of these were kind of slept on for like weirdly enough. Yes. This thing has seen up and down, left and right. The Umbreonions. Yes, all the Umbreons. Love this one too. I really like these shinies from the GXs. For this one, Betty? This regular one? Perfect. Yeah, let's take a gander. So this one was assessed as near mint. Let's take out the handy dandy tool. I don't think there's really much. But yes, front looking clean. That's what's so nice about kind of nerding out on these lives. It's cool to like show the cards off. Oh, I gotta prove that I'm still a human. 1 second, chat. There we go. I proved that I'm a human. But yeah, very, very, very good. I think really the only thing that's on here is like kind of just like generic pack folds, but and a little bit of whitening there on that top left. The only rainbow rare I like are the fossil. Yeah, the fossil Dragonite, right? Mr. Old School over here. Well, sounds good, Betty. I think you have excellent taste. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I got yours. Got yours right there. All right. I really hope, I really, really hope, again. Yeah. Um, I really hope that the 30th anniversary that they come out with the Espeon Gold Star. That would be such a cool choice for them to make. Let me know for you conspiracy theorists out there. Let me know what cards you think are going to be in the 30th anniversary if they do a classic collection. My first bet is that they're going to do the Espeon Gold Star. That's going to be my first bet. And then my second one, which I don't think is going to be totally true, I think the Lovebirds are going to be in there too. And then the Sassy Umbreon. Oh man, if they release the Ray Gold Star, that would be sick. That'd be absolutely amazing if they did the Ray, because that's my personal holy grail card. I'm stopping my Pokemon collecting since my local GameStop shut down. Dang, man. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, Bardian, I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready, because we are looking at the Vaporeon, which is probably the cleanest moderately play you'll ever have, because the only thing that I have on this one, and chat, you guys can actually tell me if you would assess this as mod play or not, because I was actually really on the fence, but I think ultimately, I think it deserves the moderately played condition. So here's kind of my thinking, chat. Ready? So the Hollow is in really good shape, like in immaculate shape. The only thing, and I'll flip it on back, but the only thing that I saw on here was this little, you can kind of see it in the light there. That's probably the best way to see it. You kind of see that little, kind of like bend there or crease on the border, but it only is only in the gold border. I'll try to show you guys over on the other POV too. So right there is the only little bit of issue on the front. But aside from that, the back is like super clean. Maybe a little bit of whitening here and there, but that is what, like, just to kind of give like a rule of thumb for like how I do condition. Like the back is flawless, the front is flawless, the back's flawless. So some of you might be wondering like why I don't clean it or why I don't try to do anything with it. And the honest answer is I have tried, not for this one specifically, but I have tried getting into like working on cards and whatever, but the time has just not been worth it, and it's just been super difficult, especially where I live. Because where I live, the air is so dry that my humidor will instantly become not in a range where it is available to get to the right spot. So my area where I live physically prevents me from doing it. So I've just kind of accepted that, and it just kind of is what it is. But this is a very clean. This is probably the cleanest moderately played card I have ever seen, to be honest. But I don't know if you saw that, Dom, or saw that over on the other angle, but that's what that looks like. So everything is done. If you go through my pinned videos, all the information on how to do what you're talking about, because I don't do the claims specifically, because how I have everything set up is you can basically the first to cart wins essentially. So that way you can kind of get it all done, and that's pretty much it. Try to make it as super easy for you guys as I can. Yeah, if you just look at my pinned videos on TikTok, it should show you exactly what to do. So, and some more e-reader stuff. Well, that could definitely well happen at this moment, Betty, to be quite honest with you. With that Vaporeon specifically. So, that's why I try to like to be fair with that whole because that's why I think kind of like claims are kind of like I don't mind them, but I think the way that we have it is good. Gotta head out, but have a great rest of the stream. Hope everyone finds what they're looking for. Well, I appreciate you, Waste. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming through and supporting and lurking. Have a great rest of your night, day off. And I'll probably catch you on Monday. I was a very busy boy this weekend, which is why I wasn't able to tune in, unfortunately. But hopefully you had a good stream. I saw that you broke 1K. Congratulations, by the way. At least I think he broke. I'm pretty sure he broke 1K. So congrats again. Must be super excited to play Five Nights at Freddy's. Now we're on to the Z's chat. Sounds good, Waste. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now we're on to the Z's chat. And the Zekrom. Alright, so before I show off some of the back row stuff, if anyone wants me to go through any of the things that I showed off already before I move on. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going through the stacks here. Yeah, right, Betty. I know, it's tough. It's super tough. Yeah, I think, the Reshi, if I had a choice between the Reshi and the Zekrom, definitely would be the Reshi for sure. So now we got some of the slabby patties. Straight from Mr. Krabs himself. Get my favorite gym hero card for sure. Shout out to Jungle Man. Shout out to the jungle enjoyers. I think I've told this story before, but I remember back in the day when my dad was helping me collect Pokemon cards. If there was a card that I was looking for, he would buy a pack, take the hit out, and then replace it with a card like a single that he bought. So I'd like pull the card that I was looking for, and I never knew it. But what happened was, for example, I opened up a jungle pack and I pulled a Poliwrath because I was looking for a Poliwrath. And him doing that forever changed as a kid on how sets work. So I was like buying jungle all the time trying to pull a Charizard because I thought, oh, any Pokemon can be in any of these sets. So I'm like buying jungle, buying fossil in search of the Charizard because my dad put it in my head that, oh, you can just like do that. So, but yeah, shout out Dad for ruining sets for me. Nice little Charizard VMAX there. The Celebi, I absolutely love this artwork on the Celebi. Super nice. And the birthday Pikachus. Again, the celebrations ones were starting to sneak up there too. And then what else? Oh yeah. So I guess the back row that you really can't see. So we'll kind of go from lowest to highest on the back row. First we got that Lugia V. I just rewatched Vaporeon. If you need me to show it again, Bardian, let me know. Because someone asked me to take a look at it. Nice little Mewtwo right there. And this one, it'd be really nice if I could find the Venusaur and the Charizard EX as a 9s. Because having one and not the others is heartbreaking. But it also makes vending much more fun because those are like what I'd be looking for. Yes, I absolutely love that Blastoise. And then the other one, and this is what I was kind of talking about palette. So this is the Espeon EX that I have. And that's why I love the Umbreon EX to pair with it. Absolutely love this Espeon. And then what else? Yeah, just shoot me a message, Barty, and if it's still around, I'm definitely down to work something out. But again, I would say with like everything going on right now, I'd say it's pretty competitive, especially with it being online. Like I do have to eat some things, if you know what I mean. But nice. If you guys have ever seen this, so this is the Japanese Game Boy promo Dragonite. So we had Meowth as the English for the Pokemon Game Boy, but this was uh, Japan's version. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I always love this Dragonite. Super super nice. And now on to some beefy Gold Star action. Got the Raikou from Unseen Forces. I know. Yeah, right, Bardian? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I love that Dragonite too potential. It's super nice. Nice little Raikou there. And then followed by the Entei. Nice little Entei Gold Stars. I feel like these are kind of seen as like the gateway Gold Stars. Because it seems like when people have Gold Stars, often it's either the dogs or the Reggies. Or weirdly the Alakazam. But the Alakazam's always just beat. Which I find pretty funny. This one I just got back from PSA. Super stoked about this one. Especially with that Rayquaza set coming out soon. Super nice there. Now we're getting to the top row. Make sure I don't hit you guys. The Suicune. This little Suicune Gold Star action. So all three dogs. All three dogs, and then these ones I also graded. The Dark Gyarados with probably one of the coolest swirl play. I mean, if it was in his mouth, obviously it'd be a lot better, but that swirl placement on that Gyarados. That scratch is on. I have these all. Excuse me. I have these all sleeved, by the way. That's why there's that scratch underneath the mouth of that Gyarados. But super nice on that guy. And then this one seems like it's the Machamps have been getting a lot more love. I've been seeing as of late. But this one's pretty sick. First edition Dark Machamp. It's a very nice card. And then probably this one's a little bit definitely a bit high for sure, but let's see. Let's see. Oh, what do we got? We got an order placed for the Vaporeon. Very nice, my man. Dom with the Vaporeon pickup. Thank you, sir. Excellent choice, my friend. Excellent choice. Super nice. Yeah, literally, legitimately, probably the best condition moderately played card I've ever seen. It's actually pretty nuts. But congratulations again, man. Thank you for the support. Yeah, it was tough because it's like I almost had like an angel devil kind of conversation. It's like, man, I want to list this light play because that's the only thing, but this one's probably this one. The price I will say is kind of crazy. That number is nuts. Because this I graded myself, and it is probably one of the cleanest near mint copies I've seen. Um, and this one's more of like personal collection slash like if someone were to offer, I'd be okay with it kind of thing. So it's a little bit crazy, I will admit, but this is probably the cleanest near mint copy I've seen even online. I think the only reason why I think this got near mint, um, dude, the gold you should look legitimately, Dom. I'm not kidding, and this kind of goes for anyone. Is that these are seeing a significant dip. Significant meaning it's gonna be kind of goofy what I'm saying, but I would say it's probably right now floating around like 5.3, 5.3 to 5, like somewhere in that range. But some of them have been cooked. Like there was one that ended for PSA that was absolutely fried on the back. Um, that ended up going for like 5.1, I believe. But yeah, I don't know. It was pretty crazy. But so what I'll do now is so everything was just kind of summer into fall. Gold Star. Yeah, it's weird, man. Gold Stars go into this like weird. I think people were kind of getting fatigued with Gold Stars, to be honest. I think during last year, I believe that's kind of what was happening in my opinion. That's why I'm kind of seeing a significant dip. So that's why I'm kind of like, I see that I see this more as like my personal collection. That's why I'm kind of like leaving it like that because I don't mind it being kind of sitting. Yeah, and especially for like the Charizard for sure. That's why I kind of think right now like it's actually at a pretty reasonable price point if you can pick one up. Like it's definitely gone down a little bit for sure. Um, but yeah, so if you guys want to see anything else from my collection, I have everything from A to Z. Um, dude, the grade on this one was a 7. And it was like I think really the only thing when I assessed this was that there were some scratches on the hollow, like, but the back was actually in really good shape. Like there's probably some like light scratching. I think it's gonna be hard to focus because I have it in a sleeve, but yeah, it's the corners are like really clean. I think that was like the only one that I saw. I believe. I'm kind of like reassessing the card live, so forgive me if I'm forgetting stuff. But I did finally get rid of that Shining Steelix. I used it for trade fodder to get a Reds Pikachu at a show not too long ago. Yeah, I think for me with the ponchos, I think they're kind of over. I think they're overrated in my honest opinion. I think I don't know, just something about them it just never sat well with me to be honest. Like from a grading perspective, um I actually cry now. Oh, Bardian. Um, I think ponchos are a bit overrated, and I think that they are more seen as kind of like vendor to vendor, like tax or like money moving. I think ponchos are typically done only through vendors and not necessarily through like collectors. Um, but I feel like gold stars specifically, like those being at a high premium makes sense because they're so much harder to have in a good condition and they were so much rarer because their print was so low. Like that's why like the Rayquaza Gold Star Deoxys was one of the low like least amount printed set ever. Um but I don't know. I just think like like if you're going to ask a collector like, "Hey, would you front the money for this?" Like there's got to be a point where collectors are just like priced out of that card. And so it's like it's just like when vendors finally try to cash in on the ponchos, all the other vendors that are they're trying to sell it back to is like, "Oh, I already have a poncho. I don't really want it." It's like, "Okay, well, what about the collectors? Do they want it?" It's like, I don't want it for that price." Yeah, exactly. Pal, it's so funny. There was a at the Syracuse show that I went to, someone had a Rayquaza Gold Star PSA 1. And it literally looked like they used it as a coffee coaster. I thought about selling the Gary Pika 10. I don't know if it's a smart hold. I mean, it's just again, it's just kind of my opinion with the ponchos specifically, but I don't know. I think when the I here's what I have been recommending to folks. When people ask me like, should I hold on to a card? Yes, you can. When I say like people should hold on to a card, the 30th anniversary is so close to being around the corner. That's when hype typically will kind of come back. So I would hold until the 30th anniversary comes back. So like when the 30th anniversary is announced and everyone's kind of coming back into the hobby, um, I think that is when you'll start to see like a very consistent uptick. Would be my guess. So that's what I typically recommend for folks who are kind of on the fence on like something like that. I would just hold off until the 30th anniversary. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, okay, so unless someone wants to look at some other stuff, I'll kind of go through one more time towards the end because I am streaming up until 10 o'clock tonight. So in about a half an hour, I'm going to be getting off. But I thought it'd be kind of cool. So I literally picked up a collection that I'm still processing literally today, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to kind of show a sneak peek. None of this has been processed, so it's um, nothing available yet, but I think it'd be just kind of cool just to kind of show off because this came from a genuine person's like childhood collection. I thought it was really cool. Um, I wanted money for, let's see, I sold my PSA 7 Skyridge Gengar in July. Dude, Dom, you know what I say to people like that, or comments about that. Like, if it made sense to you at the time, like, there's no reason why you need to kind of look back and kind of kick yourself over. Like, I had three beauty looking backs, and I had three Umbreon VMAXs that I sold um, probably about a year or 2 years ago to fund what you're seeing right now. So at the time, that made sense for me to do that. Like looking back, right? Like those cards are like 3x what I sold them back then. But at the time, that made sense to me. So it's one of those things where, like, in the moment, you made the best decision that made the most sense for you at that moment. Um, and it's just kind of, it just happens. But at the end of the day, like, that's the thing that's always funny to me when I post like a video of like, oh, I sold this card for X amount, and then there's always someone that's like, oh, it's this price now. It's like, okay, well, like if I never sell it, it's unrealized, right? It's an unrealized profit. So like if I need the money, like someone's not going to say, oh, like it's potentially, like I can't just give them a card. It's like, oh, it's potentially this. It's like, sir, you're trying to buy a house. Like I'm not going to take in Pokemon, right? It's like, oh, but it's this price. Oh yeah, I hear you. Every like if any collector or anyone that vends says that have never had that happen to them before, they haven't been in it long enough, or it has happened and they're afraid to admit it. I've had so many cards. Like I had a PSA 9 Umbreon holo from Skyridge that I sold to a really good customer of mine in Michigan last year. I think for like around 2,200, and it's not like a 5,000 card, but it's like I wanted to, like I'm a business. Like if I don't sell anything, like what's the point? So, yeah, just exactly, pal. Just move stuff what makes sense to you, and just if it made sense to you in the moment, then no regrets. Okay, so this was some of the probably the better stuff that I got from the collection I literally picked up today, and this was genuinely someone's childhood collection. And some of these, chat, like for example, Ash's Pikachu. That looks cute. That looks nice. What about the bottom half of a Ho-Oh Legend? You ready to see the most cooked card in all the land? Look at that, chat. Holy cooked. That thing has seen the playground and back again. So when I say that these came from a childhood collection, boy, they were not lying. That thing is, you know what? Maybe, you know what's funny, RB? Maybe this might be the first card to submit to get that PSA 1. Should we do it, chat? Should we send this in so I can try to get my first ever graded PSA 1? I honestly think that they would send it back, Dom. This thing is absolutely fried. Like that corner is cooked. That corner's cooked. It's all cooked. The gripper, the Ho-Oh grippers. But yeah, we just got some random GXs. Then a random Cresselia. That was super cool. Some level X. But then you can kind of see we got a lot of tag teams. Because this person, it's funny. This person was a kid during Diamond and Pearl, so a lot of what they collected as a kid was from Diamond and Pearl, Black and White. So we had Solgaleo, the Lunala, the Lucario. So these will be hopefully like updated, but this is just kind of a sneak peek at stuff I literally picked up today. Because I say that, this was part of it. The Greninja Zoroark. This one, unfortunately, was assessed as mod play because there's a freaking dent in the middle of it on the back. But and the Garchomp Tina. Lovely promo. And then the birds. But yeah, a lot of these were just absolutely cooked, chat. Oh, yeah. I know. Shining Arceus. But it was cool. It was really cool to kind of go through his personal collection. And I was really making sure, like, you know, are you okay with this happening? Because that's, all right, another Galaxia yapping session. So one thing that I do as a vendor is if someone comes to me with their childhood collection and is wondering what they can get out of it, the first thing that I always ask is, from a sentimental perspective, are you attached to these, or will you regret selling them? Because at the end of the day, like, I would rather pass on buying something to have them be, you know, really be okay with parting ways with their collection. Because that's the one thing that I hear time and time again as a vendor is I gave rid of my childhood collection, I sold my childhood collection, and they regret it. So that's the one thing I really want to make sure before any of that money conversation happens is if it's actually their personal collection, you know, are you okay with parting ways with it? And we got Charizard. This thing is, again, for the most part, Dom. For the most part. And then these, I forgot the Glaceon and the Vaporeon, but he had all of the black and white evolution promos. So we got the Flareon, the Umbreon. Yeah, Dom, if you are local, we are having there's a card show in Plattsburgh on February 7th. That if you are not aware of it, I have all the info on my pages. So if you want to message me, I can give you more info so I can be more specific. But there is a card show coming up February 7th. That Pallet will be there too. Yeah, Pallet can say it. I can't because TikTok's silly like that. The Raichu tag team, I know. Yeah, I love these black and white promos are super nice because of the background. I love the artwork on these promos. Nice little Eevee action. All the colors. And the Espeon. And I think the other ones that he had, the other ones I haven't really even looked through, but just a lot of random black and white stuff. A lot of random black and white hollows. So, Betty, I think you're still here, but this is the pile that I saw a lot of the Dragonites in. Granted, you can, Palette. I can't. You can, I can't. At least I think so. But this was like a lot of like random Diamond and Pearl hollows that I don't even know. Most of them are probably like $1. But I haven't processed these yet. But it was just like a bunch of random stuff. One of the few instances of this card being printed, by the way. The Tyrantrum. This thing has no love. From the printing perspective, that thing has no love. Yeah, just a bunch of like random older stuff. The only problem we have with the EV Black White promos was the Sylveon didn't have the nice background that the other evolutions had. I know. Look at that card. Do you see its first Evo? Oh, I did. Yes. Yes, yes. A little Genesect action. I know. Nice little Ampharos. My favorite Pokemon from Gen 2, by the way. For those of you who are wondering. Ampharos. Yeah, you can kind of see a lot of these are kind of cooked. But here is the, so that's the Vaporeon. And that's the Glaceon. You have a Teddiursa collection? Yeah, all these will most likely be processed throughout the week. Oh, there it is. Some Salamances. The Drud. If you guys play Pokemon Pocket, this thing was the bane of my existence back when it first started. Yeah, so this was the Dragonite, I believe. Again, they're very well loved, so they'll definitely be on the cheaper side, but depending this Darkrai's cooked beyond belief. Look at that, chat. That thing is fried. But it'll look good in the $1, $2, $3 binders, that's for sure. Oh, chat, you guys ready? So it was kind of cool that I never really saw a lot of these cards from this era, so it was actually kind of cool to go through this collection, because there's a Raichu in here that I really, really liked, and I thought it was super cute. Nice little Metagross there. Nice Litten. This one right here. Oh, sorry, guys. The glare on the cards is kind of rough. Yeah, I know. It's a little bit better on the other side, but I'm trying to do for both. So the Raichu is holding balloons. Yeah, once I do this again, I'll have more of the kinks worked out, but the Raichu is holding the balloons. I have never seen this card until today. Look at him hanging out. What kind of shape was that Secret Wonder Zard in? Boy, it was rough, if I remember. Again, I haven't even begun looking at these yet, because I made this pile probably like an hour prior to stream. Was it... What pile was it in? Was it this one? Yeah, this one. This one I think was either heavy play or damage for sure. Yeah, I don't think there was a single one yet that was in like... I think there was like 2 that were light play. Yeah, this one was pretty cooked, as you can see from that big bend. I know this Charizard was well loved on the playground. That's for sure. Definitely well loved. Oh yeah, he got cooked alive. For sure. Oh, there's a oh yeah, oh man, this one hurt. I'm going to say that this one probably hurt me more than anything, cuz I have the Zapdos from Supreme. So I have this one. So I was like, "Oh, cool." Like I found the Articuno. Look at that, chat. Holy. That thing is fried. I love this artwork too, and I think like when I saw it, look at that. Boom. That thing is like there's a substance growing there. Like there is a foreign entity growing on the back of that. The flood from Halo has infected this Articuno. Probably shouldn't even be touching it, but but that is you guys you cannot tell me that these were not from a childhood collection. Look at that. Betty, I bet you want that one. That thing, someone got mad at someone in the look at it. You can fold it in your pocket, chat. I bet that hurts. Look at it. It's a V. It's the Dragonite V because it makes a V. What am I doing with my life? Bending cards on stream. Yeah, just a bunch of $1, $2, $3 cheapies. Oh yeah, for sure. This Caesar was cool. This is the first time I ever saw this. To be honest. I never saw that artwork until today. But that was pretty cool. Yeah, definitely practice origami for sure. Electivire. There's another Dragonite. Cooked though. Beartic does need more love. I agree. Yes, definitely potential. Oh, this one, Betty. Look at this. Look at that. The Radiant Collection Eevee. I think it's cute. That is kawaii AF. Uh-oh. You know what they say? I caught a low punny, Batman. Oh, look at that, chat. It's a scratch and sniff electrode. Scratch and sniff. Oh. Okay. Of course they're all going to be. There we go. Sounds good potential. Yeah, I love looking through this stuff. I really like this Haunter artwork. There's another one I saw for the first time today. The Haunter art is so sick. Yeah, there's another one. There it is. So that's what I found in their collection so far. So still processing it, still going through it all, but that is the general gist. But all right, so we'll go through everything one more time, and then we will call it there. So if you guys see anything you want me to pull out, just let me know. We're gonna not so much speed run this, but if there's anything, because we have about 13 minutes left, so run through the collection one more time. But this is always super fun for me to do, and hopefully, if you guys have some feedback, definitely let me know on things that I know for a fact that on the second camera that I have over to the right side that you guys can't see is the glare. So I'm going to hopefully fix that next time. Try to figure out better angles as well on certain things. So depending on how well these go, I'll continue doing them. Because it is difficult to keep these things in line and trying to adhere to all these silly policies, and it's just crazy sometimes, but it is what it is. Trying our best out here. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying yourselves so far, kind of hearing me yap and look through some cool cards. Again, if you guys are in the New York area, I'm going to be at a show in Plattsburgh, New York on February 7th. So if you want more info from on that, let me know. But otherwise, I am stoked to go there. Hopefully, it's a good event. Hopefully, things go well. So I'll be probably talking about that more as the date kind of gets closer. But super stoked. Yeah, message me before I forget, Palette. I'll set that to the side. So that show on Saturday is at 10 o'clock. That's this week, yes. So I'll be there. Palatown will be there. So it'll be a fun show. My guess is that it most likely will be a learning experience for like, to be fair, the person that's running the show, I think it's their first time running said show. So there'll probably be some kinks to be worked out, but I speak for all of us in saying that it would be nice to have more than 2 shows up in the Plattsburgh area. I think that area in particular does extremely well with people coming from Canada and coming from Vermont area and Watertown and all those like upper New York towns. And so I think having more is never a bad thing, because I am tired of driving 3 hours just for shows, to be honest. To be honest. But yeah, I'll put that one off to the side. I think that would be because they just got that really big space, didn't they? Palatown. I think if they had like a mini show inside of their venue where people can play arcade games and have like a mini vending, because I've seen a lot of bars do that recently in like the California area where they'll just set up like little events to do vending shows at, and you can kind of like grab a drink and whatever. It sounds really cool in concept. Really, the only thing that I would be really hesitant about is like having like my inventory around people who are actively like participating in the adult beverage. So I don't really know how that would go, but they want people to reach out. If you wanna, if you don't mind sending me a message, pal, I feel like I'm giving you all this homework. I would definitely like to put that bug in their ear too. Yeah, the Polish Community Center does stuff like that. I found like because it was I only went there once, only vended there once, and that's a whole different conversation. But I vended there once, and they had people with like breakfast sandwiches, like going around, and they were huge, super huge, and they were like making mimosas and like, oh my god, it just made me nervous when people were like walking around my booth with, um, what's it called, breakfast sandwiches and mimosas. The only thing I asked you is just to message me about the Electabuzz and then message me for the 1-Up arcade. And then I don't know if it was just like a public forum or if they reached out to you specifically, but I'll name drop you too, just so there's like some context around it, because I think that'd be cool, especially up because they have that second floor too. I think would be pretty cool, but I don't know how much space there is up there, but they have a lot of space, and I think that would do extremely well. I think that would be something really unique to the area that I think would be really fun. I would definitely support something like that for sure. But yes, it would be. I've been trying to work with the there's like a collectibles store in Lake Placid, but yeah, it's just like and I think like the Olympic space would be like super nice for it, but I'm sure they make a lot of cha-ching cha-ching. on doing other events. But who knows? I don't know. Might be something cool to potentially think about. But I agree. Oh, you know the head of the rink. That's cool. Yeah, I think both would be really cool in my opinion. Especially the arcade one. I think that one I would really like to run with. It just makes sense. Better than the maybe better than the Dunkin' Donuts method that we talked about last stream. Have a drive-through card show where you just hey like look at the menu and just order the cards that you want. Man, this M stack is massive. I always love this mill trace from Fossil. M for massive. Exactly. Definitely not. Definitely not. Deodorant is in in high supply over there. Oh, I put a but yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a fun show this Saturday. I do have both pieces of the Ho-Oh. I sell those as a pair because I'm tired of having the curse where I only have one piece. But yes, I unfortunately I can't list it in my online collection because I have to sell it as a pair. But that's what it looks like. But yeah, I'm really curious about how the parking situation is gonna go. Without a doubt. Hopefully the parking situation goes well. But we shall see. The Snap Pikachu's. Yeah, you do a little recon action. Yeah, I think the mall one is, obviously by far is the most popular one for sure. I think that one is going to be I think the plan, the loose plan is that that's going to be like the third weekend, like the weekend after graduation, I think. But I think it's still being determined. I don't think it's solidified quite yet. Oh yeah, without a doubt. The mall one just makes sense. And honestly, like I think we talked about it before, but that one would be one that I wish happened more. But I also understand that it's more for non-for-profit, which is why they're able to kind of probably do it in the first place because it's non-for-profit. But that one would make more sense to do more frequently, I think. I think there's enough demand for it, especially for folks coming from Canada or coming from Vermont. Because the demand is obviously there, because it keeps getting bigger every year. So, and with like more TCGs being kind of more circulating in the hobby, or just like collecting hobby in general. Like there are going to be more people who are just One Piece specific, or I don't know, has like a combination of sports and Pokemon, One Piece. I've even been hearing people with Dragon Ball, which I like haven't heard anyone talk about Dragon Ball since I started doing this. But I think what happens is when like people kind of fled Pokemon towards the end of the year, people are trying to look at other TCGs. So there is kind of that opportunity too. Oh yeah. Yeah, quarterly show would go hard for sure. And it's nice cuz again, I don't like to have to keep traveling, have to spend literally an entire weekend like just to travel, because that's kind of the benefit that some of these people have that are in like the capital region, um to where, they have access to like 87 like crazy, right? They can go down to the city, they can go down to Jersey. Like those spots are like, I see people hosting shows in Jersey. Like literally, there's a show probably 3 times a week, and it's just like, man, yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I know I won't be able to go. Like if the trend keeps going where it's like around May and around October, I know the one like around October I probably won't be able to go to. So I'll only be able to go to the one in May, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. But but uh but yeah, I think quarterly would be big, or if the arcade also did one, that'd be pretty nice. Another thing I was thinking about too was talking with, I don't want to say his name, but I think we all know who I'm kind of talking about. Uh, the main man over in Bazaar. I've been talking with him about doing a potential trade night even. So I think Bazaar would do well with a trade night. Their space is huge, and I think there's not a lot of folks. I mean, there is the card shop that will do it, I think, but I think just the one in the mall is just more easily accessible. Because the one thing I was thinking of, like, I'm not saying that I'm like an expert in it at all or anything, but I think it'd be kind of cool. One of the ideas was helping folks kind of assess their cards. Because one thing that I think is kind of missing, is kind of like a easy way to have an assessment of cards, like at shows, right? Like one of the biggest things that slows vendors down is pricing cards and conditioning and whatever. So at a trade night, I think it'd be kind of cool for me. Like I really wouldn't go at it as a vendor. I think it'd be kind of cool, um, to like help people do like an in person grade review on like what I think their cards would get graded, so they just have that information to shop around, or if it's worth for them to grade or whatever, versus just like, especially with GameStop closing in the mall, like giving people more education on if it's still worth submitting their cards or not. How do you feel about AI grading things like holodecks and such? I think it's good if you are concerned with whitening and centering. But I think based off of what I saw with those apps, I think they have a hard time still dealing with things that are in like 3 dimensions. Like what I mean by that is like depth of scratches, or a culmination of scratches that you can only see in certain lighting, or dents or creases. I think on a phone app, um, it's very hard for me to believe that it would be able to catch those imperfections that you can only see like when you're looking at it at an angle. But I think it's good for centering, if you have difficulties with that. But it gives you like a general idea, but I don't think it paints the full picture that I feel like you need to really know what the review of your card would be. But like for example, what I would like to do at a trade night is like this microscope in the background, bring it to that, and kind of help educate people on what I think their card would get graded, so then they can um, kind of get a sense of what it would get, or even the condition that it's in. and then I can kind of help them determine what the fair market price would be, so that they're not getting taken advantage of for a trade or something like that. Yes, have a good night. I'm about to end it right now, actually, so it is perfect timing. So, chat, for those of you who stuck it out, appreciate you. That was the first online show, so I'll probably be reaching out to those in the Discord to kind of get a sense of how things went. There's definitely some improvements I'm going to be making for next time. Um, but uh, but yeah, if you guys are still, the code will be good since I'm going to be ending soon. The discount code for the store will expire tonight. The code is up in the top left. The shop is in my video down below, and that is pretty much it. So appreciate you guys hanging out. For those of you who stopped by, say hello. Thank you for all the likes, follows, all that fun stuff. And I will see you guys on Wednesday for the regular stream. So I will catch you later. Peace. All right, chat over on YouTube. Just you and I. So I said it to them, and I'm saying it to you. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Appreciate all the engagement, love, follow, shares, all that fun stuff. And like I said before, I will be streaming on. I will be streaming on Wednesday, so I will